All right, so you like we were going to talk about jobs and why we were talking about why it's not cool to have a job, how you can get by without a job. We were talking about all this stuff last week. I was talking about Charles Bukowski and...
Yeah, last week we spent quite a bit of time looking and thinking about how do we, what are we going to talk about episode-wise?
Yeah.
And now it just seems like first episode is a little bit harder to think about.
Yeah, because it's all going on the record.
This is real.
Everything changes.
Yeah.
All right.
Still pretty pumped about our original topic, like why are we doing this? How did it come about? And the fact that we don't have jobs, really.
Okay, so you want to do both of those things? Why we're talking about why we're doing this, and we're also talking about our life situation.
Well, I think our life situation is going to come up in all our podcasts because I can only really talk about my own experience and reflection of what this life. That's about it. Okay. So
all right, that's the end of the show. Paradise Paradox is next week.
Oh yeah, Paradise Paradox. It is kind of nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, this whole idea that we can do this because we don't have a job, or because really, this is the idea of getting rid of the job is that you can focus on being you and doing what you want to do, opposed to what you need to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, that doesn't mean that we're not real people. We're still interactive in the community, doing our thing, trying to work out ways of adding value in our own way.
Still hustling. Should we do I think we should do an intro. So. My name's Kurt Robinson. Welcome to Paradise Paradox. And
Aaron Battle. Also welcoming you to Paradise Paradox.
All right. Shall we talk about let's talk about our own stories, like how we got started in this magical adventure called life. Like when?
Man, that's a really open question. How far back do you want me to go?
I don't know. Let's start. Like we were having that conversation the other week about personal development. Like when we first made the decision that we weren't going to lead ordinary lives.
Yeah, I think you decide you don't want to be ordinary. I don't even know what ordinary is. I think that's something that used to be an idea. I think now it's impossible to be ordinary.
Yeah.
Because there's people that you try follow the track, go to school, do well, study, university, trade, whatever track, whatever path you follow to get a job, to live a normal life. It just doesn't exist anymore. There's too many variables and unexpected companies shutting down, losing your job, getting fired, surprises that you just can't budget for, and that just gets you down. Who wants to feel down? Take control of your shit. Start driving, man.
Yeah. So this is like, have you ever seen that animation? It's like the first animation that Matt Stone and Trey Parker and Matt Stone ever did.
No, you're going to have to educate me from the beginning. So
okay.
I don't even know who these guys are.
The creators of South Park.
Ah, interesting.
So the first animation they ever did was an animation based on a speech by Alan Watts. Have you ever listened to Alan Watts?
Of course.
So he talks about how you're sold this idea about this is the regular way through life. This is a path through life. You go through school and you got to get good grades so you can go to university. Then when you get out of university, you get a job and you got to keep working, you get a promotion, and then eventually you reach the holy grail, which is supposedly retirement. And that's kind of the story which we still get told, or it's.
I've seen the clip.
You have seen,
I've heard the Alan Watts actual segment they use, And I've seen it because I remember
Yep.
someone showed it to me, and I thought, I mean, this is really like, this is on the money. You're going back a couple of years. I like the way he finalizes with you spend your whole life building a box to put stuff in it, to end up in your own box. It's like, you know, it's like, why do we focus on boxes so much?
Right, because we're all obsessed with death or something like that.
Well, it seems that way. I mean, everyone seems to be scared of it, or they, you know, trying to come to grips with what I need to get done before I die. What's the 10 things you want to do before you die? Like,
The
you know,
bucket list.
what's your bucket list? You got a bucket list?
No, I think I made a list of like 100 things, and it must have been about 7 years ago that I made this list. And they started getting more and more wild until I was talking about stuff like have a conversation with a dolphin, visit outer space, you know.
Got to get it done, man.
Yeah, I need to dig
it's
up
all
that
important stuff. No, well, okay, right on this. On the bus on the way over, I was reading. I'm still reading that book, the Ra message, the humble message of.
Yep. So tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, this is it's cool because everything's relevant to, you know, your own experience. So the fact that the only parts I can remember right now was the polarization of our world and reality, the negative and the positive, and the fact that, you know, if you want to dedicate yourself to being positive, you really only need to allocate like 49% to yourself. As long as that 51% is to service to others, then you qualify. You qualify to go to the fourth density dimension.
Okay.
It's in the book. I'm not preaching this stuff. I'm just sharing it with you.
All right. Cool.
So yeah, it's cool because he also goes to explain that's kind of the path of good.
Yep.
To offer your 51% service to others and, you know, help the world.
Right.
Help everyone else through their life experience. But if you want to dedicate and go down negative polarization, then you really need to achieve like 95% service to self.
Okay.
Like
okay.
you need to like focus on you. I don't even think I can do that.
Yeah, well, it makes me think of like when somebody tells a lie and they want to be a liar as a way of life, they have to tell like 10 more lies to cover up that lie. So that's the kind of effort you're talking about.
That's dedication.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's like, you know, you can say, I'm going to begin a project, go buy all the gear and all that, but that's like buying the gear, doing the episodes, actually doing the episodes, writing them all up. I mean, that's like so much more work than what we're doing right now. we just turned up. Yeah, but I mean, the cool thing is about the 95% and the 51% is like, you know, that's a big range in between to basically live your life, be you, and do whatever, like, you know, whatever it is you feel like you have to do. So if you need to go and talk to dolphins to live that experience, or for me, as a kid, I always wanted to go to the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh yeah.
It was like that was like the number one thing. When I'm old, I'm getting a jet and I'm flying in there. I'm gonna see what's in that triangle. Like that was like top priority when I was
come out the other side.
10 years old.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, sometimes I still think about like this idea of the hollow earth theory, and people have that quote from Captain Bird or whatever his name was, the guy who I think he was the first guy to fly across the Arctic or the Antarctic, and he said that long white land that just goes on forever, and people are like, ha! That's it. He's talking about the land in the middle of the earth.
I saw a YouTube on the hot spring that's in the middle of the South Pole.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't found it recently, but there's not just the one video, there's been many cases where they talk about like the Antarctic isn't exactly all ice.
Okay, let's go.
I'm just saying, if someone goes, I flew across it and it's all white, it's like everyone thinks that.
Yeah.
But has anyone actually done it?
Not for a while, I don't think. I mean, there are satellites up there. Or just, I don't even know if satellites go over the North or South Pole, or they just go around other parts.
Speaking of the North and South Pole,
yeah,
2 fun facts that I don't know if they're facts. I just thought I'd bring them up because we're on TV. The first one being, You know, they talk about the Pyramid of Giza being so like precise, so like true north that, you know, we couldn't even build that today at that degree.
Yep.
I have reason to believe that the pyramid wasn't built to true north, was built at some other random angle, and the planet itself aligned itself to the pyramid based on the amount of energy it was pulling into its own energy grid, like its own resonance. Like, you know, the amount of the type of stone, which, you know, they go in and they say it's like radioactive. Like, it's not bad radioactive because apparently it's good and bad radiation, but apparently these like pyramids are radioactive, and yeah, they are exactly true north. Can you imagine if they built it and the planet just like shifted slowly to true north? It's like, hey, look at this, they got it right. They didn't really.
So you would say, okay. So let's see. So there's a few possibilities there. Like, one is that the pyramid moves to face true north, and another is that the force of the pyramid is so strong, it changes where the poles of the Earth are.
It keeps it balanced.
So, weren't you also saying that some people have a theory that the pyramids actually grew?
Yeah, no, well, I mean, that's gone back to our last week conversation, where these people that were channeling Ra were talking about, were asking the question, who built the pyramids, how were they built, and a few different, you know, that sort of topic. And Ra said, you know, there's no great detail. So this is so it opens up to, you know, further study. It's good because now, you know, I'm interested in checking out what material are these pyramids made from? Like, what type of rock? Where the rock come from? How is it all solid rock, or is it, you know, is it pretty big? I only have a few chambers and tunnels and things. Like, how much of the same rock is used?
Yeah.
Because Ra explains that through a thought process of the collective people that were building it, they could just think of a geometric structure, or think of shapes, or whatever thought process they were led to believe.
Okay.
The rocks kind of built themselves. And because, you know, I mean, it's craziness. and now, because they knew that, you know, it's not fair to impose. Okay, now I'm making a little bit of stuff up. Okay, this isn't in the book. This is what I kind of believe.
Okay.
I think because he talks a lot about free will,
and,
you know, how it's like a basic right of life in our density to have free will, that they had to make it in blocks. Like, they couldn't just make it like one solid big, like this huge big block of triangle of rock.
Yeah.
So it's made in like brick blocks based on our free will to assume that it was built by hand, and that it wasn't built out of, you know, mind power manifestation.
Okay, are you saying, let's see, are you saying that it has to appear like it could have been made by humans?
Well, that's what the book leads me to believe, yeah.
Right. Okay, wow. Well, I know that, like you were saying that stuff about the stone, I know the pyramids of Egypt used to be covered completely in limestone. And when the Romans came in, they were like, oh, we'll have that, because limestone is more valuable than the other stuff they used, and it was all polished and nice.
So they chipped it all off?
Yeah, they took off the top layer. Yeah.
Man, who does that? Like, I mean, I'm walking through this desert area, which I don't believe was desert either. Anyway, it's just desert today.
Well, it's not. I mean, on one side of it, there's a huge city. There's all of Cairo, right?
Have you seen those pictures from the helicopter view? It is. It's like the pyramids, like right there.
Yeah, right on the edge of civilization.
It's like looking at a Walmart in the middle of some slum. It's like you know what I'm talking about. Like, you've seen it.
This is like Walmart in Costco in Idiocracy.
Yeah, it's like
they have to take this massive journey, and then Costco stretches for miles and miles.
Well, I mean, it was a thought form. Like, Costco's got its vision. It's got its like empire. Like, these pyramids had the same thing. And I can imagine these big, like, white, polished, like, it's a massive structure.
Yeah.
To be, like, white and polished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably kick it.
Kick the tires. You can, yeah, I wonder if like...
Like, is this real? You know what I mean? Like, it would have been so out of your mind.
Yes. Yeah.
You
Like,
have to,
how impressive are they now? And how impressive is it, to be covered in limestone? Even more ridiculous. And I wonder if at night, like, the moon comes over it and they kind of light up or something like that.
Couldn't even begin to imagine what they were really in their prime, like what they were there for. People don't even know what they're there for.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, there's so many topics. I don't want to go further into Egypt and its pyramids.
Okay.
Because what was the original question?
We were talking about personal development.
No, we're going back too far now.
Okay, because we were talking about Ra.
The two fun facts about the pyramids.
Okay.
Was that it?
Yeah, sure.
About the North and South Pole.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay. Well, the first one being that the pyramid was built first to stabilize the planet, and now it's like aligned itself to north. It's a pretty big deal. Like, I mean, that's you're scratching your head for a while trying to work that out. But the other North and South Pole, they seem to, like, is the people that advertise or talk about, like, how they've already reversed. How they've
already reversed?
Yeah, like it's already happened.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the North and South have actually flipped.
Right.
But it's like a delay between... It's a delay between, like, its impact on our reality.
Bennett, I mean, we can easily prove that if we grab out a compass. If we can find a compass these days.
Okay. Yeah. That's on the Christmas list. Okay. Well, maybe. Let's say we get a compass and it's like north, then it's like, well, that's where north should be.
Yeah. Would be that way.
That's north?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's say we get a compass out and we point it to north, and that's what it says, and like all of a sudden, everything's as it should be. But at what point does it flip? So a lot of people are talking about it flipping.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometime in the next couple of years, the next 10 years or so.
Well, it's moving. It's moving at what, 40 kilometers a year?
Really?
Well, I think that's roughly what it was in the last couple of years that it's moved, 40K. And apparently this movement is like increasing 5 to 10% per year.
Okay.
I'm assuming it moved 5% the first time they noticed it, and lately it's been moving 10. So, I don't know. Yeah, maybe in the next couple of years, another 15, 20%. I mean, add them up, that's nearly halfway. 51%.
51% north. 51%.
I don't know, man. That's all too crazy. But I just don't get how people can get back in their cars, be running late to work, hit that alarm, to get this job, to make rent. Yeah. To hit like your base, and then and not be concerned about these kind. No, I mean not concerned, interested.
Yeah.
I mean,
what are you going to do? I mean, if the entire magnetic field of the world flips and it turns your car upside down and everybody dies or some shit like that.
I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, let's explore what might happen. I just don't think that's going to happen.
No. But people say maybe it will affect the gases in the atmosphere and make it really difficult to live on the Earth, something like that.
Yeah. The atmosphere.
Yeah. No, I don't understand that idea. That's just
I don't even know what gases are up there.
Well,
I mean, I just can't comment on atmosphere and gases.
My chemistry isn't that great either.
Yeah. See, this is what I mean. How can you get a job when there's like so much you could be learning? Just does my head in. We should get back on track.
I don't know where the track is. Lost it.
All right, well, I guess that's why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah, now you know.
That's the answer.
The answer is the world is wondrous and we're going to explore it by talking shit.
Well, I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's shit, but it is kind of miscellaneous.
Yeah.
But yeah, this podcast is coming to you from Guadalajara, Mexico. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is the paradise.
Yep.
Or at least in our eyes, anyway. It's been called other things.
Yeah. So I made that video the other day. I put it up on YouTube talking about how everybody in the United States seems to have this wild, crazy idea about Mexico that you can't walk down the street without getting your head chopped off. Like people saying stuff to me on the internet like, I'm sure Mexicans can't get themselves out of poverty. They're too busy hacking each other up with chainsaws. People say this.
Hey, really? I've never come across this stuff. What?
Yeah, well, like I said...
Where do you hang out online?
So it was just on, like I mentioned to you, Joe Rogan said something about it a few weeks ago on his podcast. It was like, shitty piece of dirt were his exact words, because he was talking about people running across the border, which I have to wonder how often that really happens.
If this was Japan, they'd make that into a game show by now. I mean, like, you want to capitalize on what you got? Set up a few webcams and let's see. You know, I mean, I feel like these are kind of like my brothers in a way that are trying to make their life better. I get it, but the worst part is they come home and they go, the US isn't that good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done a few
We were
trips.
trying to find paradise, and we didn't know the true treasure was the journeys we had together.
Well, right here in the heart.
Yeah.
There's no polarization. It's the one space in third density reality that there's no polarization.
That's
The heart space.
No,
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just regurgitating what I've picked up.
Okay,
Obviously, I don't know very much.
Okay, so yeah, Joe Rogan was talking about it. There was I saw somebody talking about it on a Facebook page, and people on Tumblr were saying this stuff, and it was coming up in the YouTube comments on the Joe Rogan video and other videos. Anything that was talking about the immigration reform that they're doing in the US at the moment, somebody had to drop in their 2 cents and say something shithole, something hellhole. And they all believe it. They all have this conception.
I think that's the issue. It's not what Mexico is. It's what Mexico is being painted to be.
Yes.
Because I mean, people in the US, people in Mexico, we're people that are making our way through life.
Yeah.
You know, doing you got your job, you got your family, you pay your way. This is life. That's why we're all in the same tunnel vision, on the same wheel. We're led to believe whatever we're educated to believe.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just have to wonder, like, how much they get bombarded. Like, does it come up on their TVs every day saying, by the way, Mexico is a fucking shithole? And yeah, I don't know.
Did you enjoy the video of Fox Business I put up the other week?
Which one? Peter Schiff with the contortionist?
Yeah. I couldn't help it. I mean, it was like it came up on my feed, and I thought, all right, let's have a look.
Yeah.
I do like to check in on reality every now and then. So this was my effort to try and ground myself to watch a segment. Mm-hmm. Fox Business. You think this is kind of like Fox News. I mean, that's a reputable brand, right? I mean, this is like I don't know, man. I don't watch TV.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, it's mainstream media. A lot of people think it's reputable. Sure.
I mean, I'm just assuming that it's
yeah.
like you hear Fox, you think it's a big brand of like. What do they do? Okay, they produce television.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
it's owned by Murdoch.
The television that I was watching I was fascinated. I didn't know whether it was someone was taking the piss or what.
Yeah. So the video he's talking about, it was a segment on the finance section, And about a minute or two into the video, while they've got all these people debating, the host says, the Federal Reserve is trying to work its way into a box. And by the way, we have a clip about that. And then, and then they show this clip of a circus, like Cirque du Soleil or something, this woman who's contorting herself to fit inside a box. And that continues while everybody is discussing the economy.
A lot of that going. I mean, the guys were doing the voiceover as I'm watching the circus, and I'm thinking, I don't know what I was thinking.
It's that like circus is right.
I was like, okay, I don't know if part of my brain was saying, stop talking so I can see if she's going to make it in this box, or just make it in the box already, or can we change the channel? I'm trying to hear what's going on. Like I was confused, but then it gets better. It kept going. Like that was only like was only the first like bucket of water in my face as I'm trying to like educate myself on what's going on in the financial markets and in the oh man.
Yeah, I expected them to play it for maybe like 5, maybe 10 seconds, but no, it kept going. The woman got into the box. The other woman came along and contorted herself.
They played it twice.
Okay, maybe I stopped watching.
Okay, they went away from it, and then they came back. You know, it was like a metaphor they were trying to make.
Yeah.
And then they put it on TV, and it was so like intrusive that you forgot what you were watching. Like you just completely forgot.
So I assume it's intended to just get people when they're channel surfing just to stop and look at it, but it seems so counterintuitive or counterproductive because the people who are interested in watching this Cirque du Soleil thing aren't actually interested in the finance report, or if they're interested in both, it makes it very confusing for them. So
it didn't go away though. They kept talking, and then they cut to Peter Pan.
Oh, what?
How far through? I mean, I watched the full. I mean, I was about 10 minutes.
About 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, no, they
went to a break and came back.
Yeah, they went to a break. They came back and they started talking about Peter Pan live. I don't know if it was the theater. Or I can't even tell you now because it was so confusing that I just completely dismissed it and just started skipping through the video.
Yeah.
Like I would hate to think that I was watching TV because I can't skip TV. Yeah, they jumped to Peter Pan and talked about how last year ratings were. They started talking about ratings through the show, like through the business report. And what upset me the most was that even though I would have thought Peter Schiff would have been able to he didn't show any sign of being upset of what was going on
because he didn't see what was on the TV. I assume he's probably just putting his feed out. But he can't see what they're playing at all. You
begin to wonder, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, he just kind of went along with it. I think to some degree he must have known that they're taking, that they were just taking the focus away from what he was saying.
Yeah.
Because he kind of jumped on with the jokes as well. Like, he started, a bit of banter back and forward.
Oh, right.
But he would never have known what was being on TV, like what was being shown.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the thing. Okay, so you think maybe they were doing it deliberately to him? They were singling him out.
I don't think they were making him out to be a clown or not knowing what's going on. I just think to what level does he understand? How much distraction they're taken away from his message.
Yeah.
And if I was him, I'd be upset that that I'm not getting that direct connection with the viewer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah, the thing about Schiff is, I think he enjoys the limelight, but I think he knows that the media always treat him like shit. So if you haven't heard of Peter Schiff, he's the CEO of a few multinational companies, precious metal companies and investment companies.
Pacific, what's it called?
Yeah, Pacific Precious Metals or Pacific Capital. Oh, and
they both ring a bell.
Yeah. He's a CEO of a couple of companies, and so he has these very contrarian, or at least on Fox Business, they appear to be contrarian because he's the guy who's actually in the market doing the actual work, and he actually understands what's going on. And they normally get a bunch of academics to talk with him, so he seems like the odd one out. But the thing is, I think he knows that. I think he knows that the media is always going to treat him like shit in these days, because he always goes on Fox, and they haven't really given him a fair shake for.
I've never seen like a solid, tell me what you're about. It's always been, you've always thought this, and
now you're wrong.
You're always being wrong.
Yeah, every time he comes on, they tell him how wrong he is.
I love the female reporters that obviously have no idea what they're talking about, and they're like, "But Peter, you're a long-term investor. Like long-term investor. Like what terminology are you using?"
But that was a fair thing to say, I think, because she was the other guy was actually a trader, like a day trader or a week trader.
Yeah.
So in that case, she did actually make sense, I think. But yeah, if you go back like 10 years ago, you can watch clips of Peter Schiff, and they actually listen to what he says. And it's kind of funny because his voice is actually about half an octave lower.
I have noticed that.
Yeah, so over the years, like, he gets more and more excited and more moves into that higher register.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching his older like lectures because they come across more academic.
Yeah.
Where now they put him against, like day traders that are obviously technical and don't really care too much about, real value and real world. They're just like following figures and paychecks.
Yeah. Well, I remember a couple of years ago, or like 18 months ago, I met a guy, a friend of my housemate, and he's from Ireland, and he works in, some kind of, he works in the finance industry, and I think he does investment, or he trades or something. And I asked him, "What do you think of gold and silver?" And he's like, "It's dead."
How long ago was this?
This is about 18 months ago. 12 months ago. Yeah. So
if it was dead 18 months ago, it's been buried even lower now. Like they dug it up, they dug the grave lower, and they keep killing it.
Yeah.
Who are they?
I don't know. Probably guys like this.
Without a doubt.
But no, he was a nice guy. But he was saying stuff like, "Oh, well, you would have done really well if you shorted it 6 months ago." But actually, it was interesting because I started talking to him about gold and like the relationship, the ratio between the what do you call it? It's an S&P 500.
Yeah, that's it.
Or the Fortune 5. No, the S&P 500 and the price of gold, and you can see there this kind of trends. And he was like, "Oh, interesting," and so he was open-minded to it. But it was like he was so certain before I started questioning him. He was so certain that it was dead. But then the moment I start introducing this information, he wasn't quite certain. Yeah.
Well, these people don't. I mean, this guy, for example, and most people that are in the industry, financial industry that is, they don't question. It's like they read their newspapers, their reports, their online journals, and everyone's regurgitating the same figures.
Yeah.
No one's adding it up.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't even know what to add up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, I know a little bit, but yeah,
But I mean, people do comparisons, gold to oil, between today, 10 years ago, back in the 80s. They do these comparisons. That's all. That's all we can do.
Pricing gold in terms of commodities rather than in terms of dollars. Pricing the stock market in terms of commodities. Yeah.
I mean, you can do it real estate. You can do it with with purchasing power, quality of living in certain cities to try and gauge, where are you exactly? But no one has any idea anymore.
Yeah.
We're too far out at sea.
Yes, because we've been living with fiat currency for, what is it?
It's all going down,
43
man.
years.
It's game over, man. I didn't say that.
International fiat currency, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I guess from his perspective, gold is dead.
Well, you wouldn't invest in it.
From his perspective, no.
No, exactly. I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, if you're like behind a computer and you're there looking at your figures, like they're better. Like right now, how good is the US dollar going?
It looks good.
It looks great.
Yeah. The other day.
If we keep talking like this, we're going to need to put a disclaimer on to say that we're not financial advisors and no one should be taking this information in.
We have no idea what we're talking about. The price of oil the other day went below 60, and some people like on Zero Hedge, they're saying that the last time that happened,
it went below 60.
Yeah. Oh. Reached 60, or it's around 60. I don't know if it went below.
Dude, that's incredible.
Mm-hmm. It's been going down for the last 6 months.
Wasn't it over 100 only like a few months back?
Yep.
Last week?
No, I don't. I think it's been going down for 6 months.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, steady decline for 6 months.
I don't follow it.
Yeah. Well, me neither. But apparently, it's an important signal because the last time it did that was in 2008, about 3 or 4 months before the collapse.
3 or 4 months. All right. Yep. So let's say time's speeding up. So we might have 2 months left.
Maybe. We'll see.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of consumer spending going on this time of year.
Yeah. But sometimes it feels like waiting for the dollar collapse is like waiting for the second coming or something. It's like,
no, you can't wait for it. I mean, you lose friends. you turn up late to dates and you never get to work on time. You can't do it. It's like, as soon as when you decide you're going to wait for something like that, then I don't know what decisions you're not making. Like, you're obviously in a different reality to everyone else. And that's a concern. I mean, I'm aware of moments where I think I've come across people that have been waiting for significant events to happen. And I mean, like that 2000 Y2K bug, like, it's like, you can be pulling hair out and going nuts over these things that are never going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like, if it doesn't happen today, why is it in your reality?
Well, okay, that's not exactly the case, because you can still be planning and living in today.
Oh, no, well, that's right. But then
you still be preparing.
You're living in. I mean, in that case, then you still live in your today.
Yeah.
But you're aware of what might be coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying when you're 100% dedicated to this is going to happen any day now.
Yeah.
And I've got my my bug out bag packed. You seen the Preppers? It's a TV, it's a series in the US, Preppers.
Oh, right. They're right. They made a TV show about it. But it makes them out to be conspiracy nuts, tinfoil hatters.
They're insane. They're crazy people.
Right.
But, you can't let these people out.
Right, of course. Because
they're not real.
Yeah. But, of course, the majority of preppers aren't like that. The majority of preppers are probably, quite rational people who have a few ideas of what's going to happen.
Oh, I think,
or
yeah.
A few concerns.
There's definitely a lot more preppers than you realise.
Yes.
They just might not go by the name or by the basket prepper.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
not since the TV show came out.
No, I mean, I don't blame for making a show. I mean, I watched a few episodes. I thought it was funny. But I just don't like the way they portray people.
Yeah.
It's like it's not fair to anybody.
Yeah. Well, they're always going to chop it up and make you appear like an idiot. Yeah, but I was saying about Peter Schiff, like how...
Speaking of making people appear to be idiots.
Yeah, exactly. Because he went on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Actually, it was the second time, and it wasn't Jon Stewart that was interviewing him. It was one of the other hosts or reporters or yellow journalists or whatever you call them. And apparently... She talked to him for about 6 or 7 hours, and it was a long time in any case, because she kept trying to ask more questions and get something out of him.
Was that an interview? 6 hours?
It was something like it was more time than a regular interview, that's for sure. So he kept saying, you know, I got to pick up my kids or whatever. I got to go meet my wife. And she was like, no, just a little while longer. Eventually, they got him to say some phrase which wasn't politically correct. He said that people who are mentally retarded might earn below the minimum wage, which is it's factually correct. There's even an exemption in the United States for people who are mentally disabled, so they can earn lower than the minimum wage. But it was just the fact that he said retarded that they used that to destroy him.
You can't be too careful.
Well, after you've talked for 6 hours, you're going to say something.
Oh, man, 6 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But why do they want him to, just to destroy his character?
Yeah, they want to paint him as an idiot. They want to paint him as like an evil capitalist who wants to exploit the mentally disabled. They want to make him out as if he's Scrooge or Scrooge, I guess. The guy on the Monopoly board with the monocle. That's who they want to show him as. Did
they superimpose those images over him as they were filming? Because, I mean, that would have been much quicker than 6 hours.
Yeah, they should have done that.
I mean, I guess Fox would have done it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that they're trying to do it in the most subtle ways possible. Actually, a thought popped into my head yesterday. I thought a really good form of propaganda these days is, and probably for a long time, is to make stupid people feel like they're really smart. So
keep going with this.
Yeah, that was that was the beginning of my thought. I'm not sure where to take it, but like in this case, they're appealing to leftists, like socialists, people who believe that the government should have more control. For example, more control over Peter Schiff and other rich CEOs, and so they're always trying to play up this intellectual angle. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I like the idea of propaganda.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's just so easy to throw that word around. It's like, that's propaganda. Or, you know...
Well, it's everywhere. It is.
Well, it can be anything.
Just about, yeah.
I mean, it's like so open, yet I think a lot of people, they hear the word propaganda and they think of, you know, political views. It's always negative.
Yes. Well... just about all the time. So I remember in school what they showed us of propaganda. It was never British. It was never Australian. It was always like Russian or German.
Those guys.
And it would just be like posters and saying stuff like, I don't know, the British are trying to steal your wives or some crazy stuff like this. Or a big bear being attacked by Uncle Sam or whatever.
Uncle Sam has got to be the #1 propaganda Captain Chief America of all propagandas.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows who he is.
Yeah, yeah.
Any random Mexican person in the street knows Uncle Sam.
Yeah. And so the thing is, they never give you examples of propaganda that you would expect to see today. So it's, I mean, I guess maybe it was justified because it was a history class. But
you got a very good point, though. I mean, people don't know what modern day propaganda is.
Yeah, and I see it everywhere. I wrote a song about it. I put it on YouTube. It's called...
We should go out on that song later.
Okay.
It's relevant now.
It's called "The Truth Is Not a Meme." And what I mean by that is there's a lot of things that people put on the internet, easily shareable, or little catchphrases that you can repeat to your friends as if it's something really smart to say. But it's actually just what someone wants you to believe. So in the song, I give the example. There's a movie with Denzel Washington I think it's called Deja Vu, where he has that machine to look back through time. Do you remember that one?
It's been a while.
Okay.
I can't recall right now.
Anyway, so in one scene, the terrorist or the bad guy in the movie quotes Thomas Jefferson saying about how he's a patriot, how it's important to protect personal liberty or something like this. And then like immediately afterwards, he blows up a boat. And so it's never mentioned that he's actually quoting Thomas Jefferson, but it's pretty much verbatim. So anytime someone starts referring to the founding fathers or, starts bringing up these Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin quotes in the United States, people are going to have this immediate connection in their brains to this movie and to this terrorist and to the image of blowing up a boat.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're playing chess, they got like 4 queens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we've been playing for a while. It's, you really begin to, I mean, once you start exploring these ideas, you really begin to understand what is happening in the world right now and how people, I mean, forget about, personal liberty and human rights and freedom. It's like, you haven't got your mind. You know what I mean? Like, I'm taking my girlfriend out to watch a movie, and it's like you're opening your head to being blasted by whatever information they want to put in your head.
Yes.
And you're not even aware of what you're watching.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, the good guy always wins. That's cool.
Yeah, but is the good guy like actually a statist murderer who murders on behalf of the Queen or
what
whatever?
What color suit was he wearing? You know what I mean? It's like, do you even notice?
Are there like movies in? I haven't seen many Mexican movies. I don't think that Mexico has a big film industry.
I tell you, I've been watching a lot of like the old Mexican movies.
Right.
Like, like in the, you begin to see, I'm trying to think of eras, but I'm talking like black and white, half musical style. Like, these are like, they've always got like a cool story. Like, there's always like family values, or there's always like, everything always comes back. There's always like there's a message to it.
All right.
To all these movies. And it's, even though they're old movies, I find myself in a state of understanding that I'm collecting these movies now. Like, if I see them in a shop, I would buy them, knowing that this could be like a future family movie. But I'm aware of the message in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, we watch movies now, and it's all about the 3D and the special effects, and and the cool, in your face, action. But you've got no idea what you're watching.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it's scary as hell. It's really bad, because all of a sudden you realize you can't talk to your friends anymore. Because
you see what's in the movie and they don't.
Well, you're watching a different movie. You're watching a completely different movie, and it's not even about, like, it's not even stuff you can talk about.
Yeah.
Because you're just not on the same page.
Can you give me an example?
Man, it seems so easy to talk about, and there's so many examples, but
yeah,
man, give me a moment, and I'll get back to something that, like, something just. I mean, I think of any of the Transformers.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just basic. Like, I couldn't even tell you what happens.
Right.
Like, I couldn't even tell you, like, what. I mean, I'm talking like value or message or like,
right,
what was this about exactly? I mean, I watch a movie and I'm thinking about shit. What is on that dark side of the moon? Are there Transformers up there, or is that a metaphor for something? You know what I mean? Like, that's a movie I saw, but I saw that in the first 5 minutes. The rest of it, I fell asleep.
Yeah, which one was it?
I'm going to say the first ones. I don't think I spent time watching the rest. I just couldn't be bothered.
I think the first one was all right, but I think that was the only one I saw out of that series.
Well, I mean, any of these sort of like modern day movies, like America's the hero. That's like propaganda 101.
Yes.
You know
absolutely.
what I mean? I watched 101 Dalmatians, a Disney 101 Dalmatians. Yep. And you know what? Those French guys, French, man, they're bad people. This is what my children are watching. You know what I mean? They're judging French designers.
Yeah.
It's
well,
like,
you were talking about the other day how your nephew lives in the United States and has this crazy warped view of Mexico, how it's...
No, well, I mean, I don't want to go into too much detail, but there's a few comments that have been made over... You know, I mean, children can't be blamed at
Yeah.
any level of, you know, their points of view, because, you know, they're sponges.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always those few comments that to anyone else might just be, you know, normal conversation. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I'm not too sure.
Right.
But what's said and what's perceived, you know, may often be two totally different things.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's real to me, what else have I got to base anything on? So, yeah, I mean, it's something that you become aware of. I mean, especially when you're interacting with children. You see them, the way everything's so raw and real. You know, they tell
absorb the propaganda.
well, I mean, let's not go into propaganda, but I mean, you know,
Okay.
you ask a kid what flavor they like.
Yeah.
Bam, they know their favorite color, their favorite food, their favorite animal, you know, their favorite TV character. Like, they know who they are. Kids are real. You ask an adult, you know, what's your favorite color? It's like, well, depends, you know, if I was to pick a BMW, then, you know, the titanium gray is like my favorite color. It's like, you become your interactions. And my nephew said a few comments that were like, okay, something simple like, if you're naughty, I'm going to send you to go live with your Uncle Rin. That would be me. It's like, why is that a punishment? Because you're going to be sent down to that hellhole of Mexico down the road that happens to supply you all your... Never mind.
Coca-Cola without corn syrup. How much time have we got? We got 16 minutes of recording time.
Oh, cool. Yes, exactly. Your product.
Yeah.
That blows me away. How someone at, you know, I mean, okay, this happened a while ago. So, you know, even let's say a child at 5 years old. You know, they're going to give you a raw response. Like, you know, this is something everyone knows. But when it's all of a sudden something that you begin to wonder, where does it come from? And like you said earlier about Mexico, what picture are they painting about Mexico? And I mean, I'm kind of glad because I've only been here a few months. And, you know, I kind of like Mexico full of Mexicans.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was the thing too. When I made that video the other day talking about how great Mexico is, I thought, are Mexicans actually going to be angry that I'm telling gringos to come on down and explore it for themselves?
Exactly. I mean, I was like, come on, man, don't tell them that.
Don't ruin it for us.
I like my, I like my little world down here.
Yeah.
This is, I like being away from the world. Like, you know, I can just forget about stuff. I live down here. There's no stress. There's no worries. There's no, I don't know. There's no one telling me what to think.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever met a stressed Mexican.
Like, no.
No, they don't exist.
Yeah, you look at everyone on the, like, I've caught a few buses in the morning, peak time buses, like 8 o'clock, you're trying to get to work, and it just happens that I'm in that time zone where I'm needing to get to A to B, and I'm on the bus, they're packed. Everyone's heading to work. No one's stressed. There's no stress. I mean, there's no seats. There's 100 people in a bus that says limit 50. You know, we're all like, you know, we're all in our little world. But everyone's just kind of like just super chill, looking out the window, looking at each other. I like to take a moment to look at everyone's face around me and try and reflect on what emotional state are they in, and what are they going to do today? Like, you know, you can tell if someone's going to have a good or a bad day from their face on the bus in the morning. And everyone's going to have a good day. It's like nothing's going to upset these people. It's definitely a cultural thing that, you know, you can't surprise me. Like, you know, I've already had enough. I'm living my life now. Leave me alone. Yeah. And I think, you know, if you want to test out some good propaganda, you need to come to Mexico and start putting your propaganda out here and see how much penetration you can get into the minds of a Mexican, because you talk to them, they've signed away and they don't know what just happened. As in, like, they don't care. just get away from me. I mean, is that accurate?
Hang on. What?
Okay, we need to explore this more.
You walk up with someone with a contract in your hand saying, give me your soul for 50 pesos.
No, I don't think you walk up to somebody.
Okay.
Like, I don't think they'd even stop and give you time.
Oh, right. Okay.
I mean, I think if you're able to find someone to, to interact with you, which I think everyone will. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can stop and talk to anybody, but they just don't have time for worry. Mm. Like, you could stop them and say, here's a contract, you're going to sign it, I've got the gun, sign your life away, sign your soul away, I'm the devil and you're making this deal. I don't think they would probably just, like what any good Mexican on the bus does, phone out of pocket, wallet, I don't care, I'm going home. It's been a long day. It's like,
have you ever seen that happen?
No, but I've heard about it.
Right.
I mean, it's not part of my reality.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't make that part of my reality. No, but the idea of manifesting your own reality, I think people here are so in their moment that doesn't exist. It's hard to superimpose things that, situations we create and try and superimpose them on people that just don't accept not their reality, which I think is why they eat chili with everything.
Right, I don't understand the connection.
Okay, I'm gonna say you got your torta.
Yeah.
Any flavor. You need chili.
Yeah.
You must have chili on it, because unless you're going to traumatize your mouth and taste buds, taste environment, you can't appreciate the sandwich. Like
you need it to suck you into the moment.
Yeah, you need to hurt now, and then enjoy the sandwich. until you do this so much that you can't eat without chili. You can't, because you're never going to appreciate the food as much unless you're in the moment.
Okay.
And
okay.
you need to bring yourself back to the immediate burning of the chili.
Yeah.
And then you can enjoy your food. And yeah, it doesn't taste any good. Like, unless you eat it with chili, it's got no taste. And that's what Mexican people think.
Yeah, well, I think I'm starting to think that way too.
It's
but
dangerous.
I don't know. I went to Colombia. I didn't use chili at all for like 2.5 months. So I guess
How'd it taste?
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Colombian food is always a bit bland. They use a lot of salt. Actually, they do. I tell a lie, because they do actually have, what do they call it? Ají, which is it's a kind of chili sauce.
Man, I love rolling peeled apples in that stuff.
Really?
It's like a chili powder, right?
No. This is like, I don't know. It's kind of like pico de gallo.
It's like a spice.
No. What? No. Like salsa mexicana. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know if I do.
Okay. I'll have to explain this to you. I can't believe you've been living here for so long and not know.
No, I just think we're talking different languages.
Okay.
Because
well, yeah, I'm speaking Spanish too. Okay. Salsa mexicana. It generally has 3 ingredients.
Go ahead.
Onions, jalapenos, green jalapenos,
yep,
and tomato.
Yep.
Jitomate. So the colors are.
I actually think
white, green. No. Well.
Yeah, I mean you
green,
wrap
white, and red.
The food's inside out.
The colors
of
the Mexican flag. Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah.
I'm thinking now the salsa mexicana.
Yeah.
I think I can blame that dressing.
Yeah.
To why I don't hate tomato anymore. I had serious issues with tomato for my whole life.
Right.
And now I eat tomato like I could eat it like an apple.
Uh-huh.
And to go from smelling a tomato and nearly heaving to being able to eat it like an apple, I'm not the same person. Like, there's been some chemical change in my brain and stomach, and I'm not the same person. And I think it's salsa mexicana. That's a medicine.
Yeah.
I reckon that could cure anything, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I reckon it'll help you.
Green jalapeno,
Yeah.
cebolla,
Sorry.
onion.
Is it actually? Yeah. Actually, is it? I think it's normally serrano, not jalapeno. Oh, I guess you could use either. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if the jalapeno is not in the salsa, it's there to chew on. Like it's there. It's in the vicinity of your meal. No,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about superfoods now. Like, this is not, this isn't just.
I don't think we have time to talk about superfoods. We're going to run out of time.
Oh no, well, I didn't want to go into it too much, but
We could talk about it next time.
there's definitely a reason why Mexican food is the way it is. Like the recipes haven't been changed for a very long time.
Yeah, I wonder about that too. Like with mole, I always say to people, like an Australian, in hundreds of years, an Australian couldn't come up with something like mole. And like my old housemate said, oh, because they don't have the ingredients. I'm like, no, it's not like that. It's something completely different. Like
Even if you had the ingredients, you couldn't make it.
No Australian would ever come up with that. I don't think they could. Like something that has like 10 or 20 ingredients all mixed together and fried and blended up.
Forget about 20. It's like chili chocolate. It doesn't go.
But it does. Oh,
And
it
so
does.
well.
All right. I think it's about time to wrap it up. So my name's Kurt Robinson. This is...
Aaron Battle.
Yep. This is the Paradise... What was it? The Paradise Paradox.
The Paradise Paradox.
Have a good one.
Kickity pickety brah, kicking it with the Kurt Robinson, rocking on to the break of dawn, waiting for some break of dawn. So what you want when someone is assertive? You think it sounds nice, they use it on the news as a sound bite. But if you want a truth, you won't find one. Just some factoids in bite-sized chunks, distill an ideology in a catchphrase. You have some people recite that for days. Just ask the man on the street in LA is still holding out for hope and change. We repeated words designed to be repeatable, not stopping to find out if they're deceitful. Despicable to those of us who seek truth. Think for yourself, move or be moved. Your mind is a commodity to be bought and sold, but billboards left on the side of the road. The product on sale is what you feel and think. Your heart is a harp, but who's playing the strings? Plant seeds in soil still virgin to determine the twisted philosophy of every sleeping person. You better wake up, or wake up quick. Better to jump out of bed than be shaken out. Shit, truth is not a meme. The truth cannot be seen on a TV screen. DVDs, it challenges you, does battle with you. Do you stop and think, can that be true? Do you dare seek when you don't know what you'll find? Persistent, elusive, could not be defined. That still small voice could just be a dream. But the truth is not a meme. Films use product placement, you can't escape it. But do you notice when they make more subtle statements? I saw a movie where the words of the terrorists were actually the quotes of Thomas Jefferson. So when someone mentions him, you envision this: a man blowing up a boat full of innocence. There's so many layers, subtlety and grey areas. It's how it can plague us if we're not aware of it. We repeated words designed to be repeatable, not stopping to find out if they're deceitful. Despicable to those of us to seek truth. Think for yourself, move or be moved. Some people use money to keep the truth hidden. That's why it's best the sickness was a superstition. So many studies say cigarettes are A-OK. Don't you think we might make that mistake today? Take a look through the veil of complexity, dare to see something that most people never see. Force a door, break open the lock for me, and see stark before you truth's dead naked body. The truth is not a meme, the truth cannot be seen on a TV screen. DVDs, it challenges you, does battle with you. Do you stop and think, that be true? Do you dare seek when you don't know what you'll find? Persistent, elusive, cannot be defined. That still small voice could just be a dream. But the truth is not a meme. To those who have a critical mind, consider every word, how is it defined? Liberate your mind from a true-false dichotomy. Delineate beliefs in terms of probability. Classified according to evidence and source. Does it have logical support or is logic ignored? whatever it takes to capture a thought. To all the truth seekers and the true believers, be careful of methods renewed by deceivers. Once upon a time we were viewed as heathens, but they can't defeat truth as long as truth completes us. It can be so cold to stare into your soul, question everything you believe, you feel, you know, but the price is temporary, the price is eternity. And when you search for truth, truth searches thee. And when thou searches for truth, truth searches thee. The truth is not a meme, the truth cannot be seen on a TV screen, DVDs. It challenges you, does battle with you, so you stop and think, can that be true? Do you dare seek when you don't know what you'll find? Persistent, elusive, cannot be defined. That still small voice could just be a dream. But the truth is not a meme. This is Kurt Robinson for Trouble in the Bubble, teaching you to cause just a little trouble, teaching you to always question what you know, question what you think you know, question what you're told, because it's not everybody out there has a determined view of truth as you. Not everybody has your best interest at heart, so be careful and be aware, stay vigilant.
Third time I've said that. Probably say it 3 more times. See, in my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in, to kind of catapult the propaganda.